So this gentleman decided to serve one element in Rotary, which is called mental health. And I want to tell you, out of 7 people, if you are 7 and you are walking, count only 1 that is normal. The rest are candidates for the hospital in one or another. How did I decide to invite this gentleman who is a Rotarian and who is promoting fight against mental health? He has walked the whole of Uganda. He's not a madman, but he has walked the whole of Uganda to make sure that if he meets a small group of borders, he talks about mental health. If he meets a nursery school, he talks about ETC. He's going to tell you a few things about it. Now, shortly before Easter, we had a very serious accident. Our students who are in field work in Kamuli had a very nasty self-made accident. And I concluded it arose out of mental health sickness. I called this gentleman to come and share with us a few tips on mental health. And Mr. Rotarian Shaka, I hence therefore invite you to come over and talk to our students in a very short time. And then I conclude and we get our small lunch break and move forward in a better way than we entered this hall. Yes. I thank you so much.
So my name is Rotarian Shaka. I'm a long distance walker. I was not always a long distance walker. By this time, since the beginning of the year, I've walked a distance like from Mombasa to Kampala. Yeah, in how many months? We are just in April. Yeah. So I've walked from Masaka to Kampala, walked from Kisoro to Kabale. The other day I walked from Jinja to Busia. When I reached Busia, I turned back and I walked up to Kampala. Yeah. So I'm that kind of person, but I was not always that kind of person. I was, maybe about 3 years ago, I was what you can call a normal, overweight person, fearful, full of anxiety, drinking, smoking weed, you know. Yeah, I was that kind of person, what you can call a weak man. Yeah, but then I've been able to transform myself within 3 years to become an elite athlete at the age of 46. You know, the things that I can do, young people can't do. I may be 46, but I have a body of a teenager, you know. And this I have done because of intention. So anyway, like you heard about the issue of what the principal talked about as far as mental health is concerned in your institution, that person that burnt the other person, you know, that shows a mental health issue. Even today, as we are coming here, we're hearing on radio a guy that slit the throat of the wife. Yeah, somebody you're supposed to be really loving and caring for, he cut the throat. So that's what they call mental health problems. And mental health problems usually arise out of your failure to cope with stress. Life will throw things at you. Your wife, your husband will cheat on you. Your house, the bank will sell it. The doctor will give you a diagnosis of terminal illness that you're going to die within the next 3 months. You will lose your son, lose your daughter. These things will happen, especially for you who are asking for a long life. The longer you live, the more you will suffer. But there is what they call coping strategy, building resilience within yourself to be able to be that kind of person that can go through the challenges that life throws at you, but in fact, they make you flourish. They make you thrive. You know, you've heard of a saying that where there is, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Meaning, you know, sometimes a problem may come to make you a stronger person, to make you thrive. So coping mechanisms, building resilience is very, very important. So what are some of the causes of stress? One of the biggest causes of stress when I'm speaking to students, of course, is academics, right? Yes. Yeah? Yeah, so you're going to have, you know, academic issues. Sometimes you may have personal issues, financial issues, you're always broke. You're always on an empty stomach, while others, in fact, you compare yourself with others who are doing well, you know. There are also other stresses when you grow up, cultural beliefs. For example, the pressure that is put on a man by a certain age, you're supposed to have done this. Pressure that's put on a girl by a certain age, you're supposed to have done this. Those socio-economic pressures can cause a lot of stress. And in Uganda, in fact, they are big causes. Yeah. Uganda is highly ranked. You had about 1 in 7 people has mental health issues, and the biggest mental health issue that we have is depression and anxiety. And depression and anxiety are problems of people like me and you who are working, family members, community members. You know, we are not talking about people that are in Utabika. We are talking about me and you. Those mental health issues of depression and anxiety are very bad because one of the things that arises out of them is violence. Yeah, like what we've been hearing about. But also there is self-harm and suicide. Suicides are increasing as Uganda urbanizes the more, and more pressure is upon us to deliver what we call as success. We get a lot of depression that is arising out of stress. Depression that is arising out of anxiety and causes a lot of suicide. We also have a lot of conflicts and insecurity, you know, conflicts, interpersonal conflicts with your family members because you're irritable, you have a short temper, you know, all because you have stress. So we're saying, what are the causes of stress? We talked about cultural beliefs, academic, personal, but also there is the chemical causes of stress on your body. In mental health, we believe that your mind is also your body. Your body is made up of your mind is made up of your body. The two are together, they are different sides of the same coin. Meaning that when you work on your body and do good work on it, the mind will follow. If you work on the mind through constant study, contemplation, meditation, prayer, the body will also follow. Okay? Now the biggest cause that is rarely talked about that I would like young people to know about is alcohol. Alcohol causes anxiety. The moment you drink alcohol, you increase hormone levels in your blood called cortisol. The cortisol hormone is responsible for stress. So, the moment you begin to become someone that is referred to as a drinker of alcohol, you are an anxious person because you are chemically stressed. At the most basic level in your body, the hormone of cortisol is high. So you're walking around stressed and anxious. If you're like me who drank for 30 years, it means that I was on tension. I was anxious for 30 years. And stress is bad when it takes a long time. Because one of the biggest causes of cancer, and the reason why you see a lot of cancer these days in Uganda, is stress. And it does not have to be only psychological stress, it can also be chemical stress on your body. So when you go around listening and seeing these adverts for alcohol, leading waraji, whatever, billboards, people with wonderful looking girls and wonderful looking boys, don't buy that kanyebo. Don't buy that kanyebo. I'm even not going to tell you to drink liquor. No, I will not take that position as your friend. You can drink liquor if you've been drinking a lot, but my position is please stay away from this big cause of stress. Yeah, so anyway, how can we promote good mental health here in our institution of Nsamizi? One of the biggest issues I'd like to bring forth to the person responsible for the medical side of things is counseling services. I wish we can have counseling services. I don't know if we already have them. Perhaps we do have them. Counseling services so that people can speak about mental health issues, can speak about the anxiety, the fear. You're always fearful, you're always worrisome. You don't want to get out of bed. You're low on mood, low on motivation. These things you must be having somebody that you can talk to, Medically, you must have someone that you can talk to. I have seen in Nsamizi Pentecostal Church, I saw some numbers for prayers, contact. Very important. Call those numbers and pray with them. Speak to them. And so somewhere there, yeah, it's a very powerful message. You know, this God says, come as you are, which means there is a sense of inclusiveness. It does not matter what you have, where you come from, you will be received. Take advantage of community, relationships, positive, empowering relationships are very, very important. That's why we look forward to opening up a Rotary Club here in Nsamizi, so that you can be part of it. So that you can be part of it, okay? There is also a screening of mental health problems as part of your clinic. If the nurses can be empowered with the skills to be able to screen any issues that students may be having, so that then you can guide them either to treatment or to talking therapies. So basically, my message is a message of transformation. Like I said, 3 years ago, I was like 95. If I show you my pictures, you'll not believe. I was drinking every day, because there is nothing as bad as being an alcoholic who has money. It's very bad, because I was drinking every day, drinking about half a liter of gin, and actually people were telling me I was not a big drinker. Then I discovered weed about 5 years ago, started smoking weed, and all these were just symptoms of the problems that I had in my life. I was continuously dissatisfied with where my life was. I was continuously comparing myself, and I live in a rich neighborhood. He's my neighbor. You can imagine how much you have to suffer if you're his neighbor. Rich man. Continuously suffering, comparing myself with others. My marriage was suffering, it was on its knees. So I decided that I was going to make a change. So in your challenges that you face in life, intention is very, very important. You must make the intention, because when you make the intention, you have informed heaven and God of your plans.